Hey, happy Monday morning. So today for Naked in Public, which is actually yesterday's because I forgot, I've been thinking of the idea of personal responsibility and what it is and how we use it and exercise it and how we allow for other people to have it and how sometimes we can take that opportunity away from other people, which could be so many different things. And so I'm curious to know, what is personal responsibility to you, and what are some ways that you think of using it or doing it, or when does it come up for you during the day. And so something that I am really clear on for me is the idea of personal responsibility and when I'm having a hard time. And the reason I'm really clear on it is because I haven't always been in the past. I think sometimes when we struggle, it's easy to get stuck in the idea, or not really stuck, but we forget how strong we are and how capable we are and the skills that we really have to take care of ourselves. Because a lot of times when we need the skills to take care of ourselves, they don't feel good. Like, courage doesn't feel courageous in the moment. It feels scary and and debilitating and horrifying until it's over, and then you're like, wow, I was so brave and so courageous. Well, same thing with taking care of ourselves. Is in the moment, sometimes it's easy to feel guilty, like, oh, I'm resting, or oh, I didn't show up for that thing that I was going to go to, or I am taking a bath because they told me that the bubbles would help and it would feel really great, but it really doesn't. And I really, it doesn't feel good. And that's why we're doing self-care, is because something is happening that we need, and not always, but oftentimes. And so we forget that in those moments of feeling shitty, that we are still strong and that we are still loving of ourselves, and that skill and that value and that trait is so important and impactful and inspiring, not only to us but the people around us who see that, regardless of how it feels in that moment. And so the idea of personal responsibility plays into this for me in the way of, I can reach out for help, but also remind myself that even when it doesn't feel like it, I am okay if I need to take care of myself. If other people are not available, if they are going through their own stuff, if it simply isn't the day or the time or whatever, that I have all of the resources that I need to be able to also have personal responsibility for where I'm at, and to sit there. And part of taking personal responsibility is not, it doesn't mean that I have to be alone or not reach out. It just means that I know that I can take care of myself if those resources are not there in the moment. And part of reaching out and part of taking responsibility is knowing what I need, is being able to say, and this happens so often when we tell people, like, gosh, I'm having a hard time, and people respond to us like, how can I support you? What do you need? And a lot of times we're like, I don't know, which is okay. It's okay not to know. And it's a lot more helpful for us and for the people around us to be able to say, what I really need is just to talk and be heard, or what I really need is to brainstorm some solutions to this problem, or gosh, there's not really a problem, I just am feeling really down, and it would be awesome if you could bring me some food, or if you could come hang out with me while I do my laundry, or help me walk my dog, or just come sit next to me so that I'm not alone and not talk because I don't really want to talk right now. I just want to be near you. Or can you come pick me up and take me to the grocery store? Or can I give you a list of groceries to pick up? Or can you even just like come over and braid my hair, or rub my feet, or hold my hand? Like, there's a million different answers, right? But think of times when you have a loved one that's hurting or that's struggling, and you want to help them so much, but you're not sure what to do. And if we can't tell each other what we need, either in that moment or make a list so that it's there for later or whatever, then it's really hard to know what to do. And then we're kind of guessing, and we risk maybe saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, or it's hard because we don't know how each other feels unless we can tell that to each other. So knowing what we need is a really big deal. So that's what I was thinking of in the terms of personal responsibility, and knowing that even if I can't take care of myself, I can tell other people what I need, so that hopefully my community can come together and help me be taken care of, and vice versa, because we're all in this together. And I would be lying if I said that any one of us doesn't need help and service at some point in time. So happy Monday. Let me know, what does personal responsibility mean to you in any part of your life, and how do you use it, and how do you take it away? Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about, taking it away. When we assume what other people need, or the other day a friend of mine quit. He didn't respond to me in a conversation that we were having, and I felt like maybe he didn't care, or maybe he was avoiding it, or I didn't really know. I felt confused about it. And then later he said, I thought you needed some time. But he assumed I needed time, and he didn't ask me. And so it kind of took away this opportunity for me to consider that and say, okay, is he saying something that I'm not, and do I really need time? Or to say, actually, that's not what I need, this is what I need. And so it was almost like I didn't have the chance to take responsibility for what I needed, or to communicate what I needed, because the communication was stopped. And so sometimes when we assume, or we tell someone what they need or what to do, or that we know what they're feeling because, well, my dog died before, and this is how I dealt with it, and this is what was helpful to me, so it must be helpful to you. Well, that's not necessarily the case, because what helps me may or may not help the next person, and on and on and on. And so asking questions and giving opportunities for people to consider, what do I need? What is the personal responsibility that I need to take right now? And being okay with whatever their answer is, whether or not we agree with it, or whether or not it makes sense to us, allowing them to have that experience and not projecting our own experiences onto them is so, so, so important. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to say about that, and let me know what you think. I'm really interested in this topic and the way that we cohabitate and co-create and build community and communication together. Okay, bye!